to the Cash Flow Show with Dave and Nate, the best place to navigate how to achieve capital appreciation with commercial acquisitions. Here's your hosts, Dave SEYMOUR and Nathan Amaral.
Oh my gosh. Did you see that? Did you see it?
What was it?
Have you been seeing it? Have you been watching?
What? A UFO? A new president? What happened? Fire truck went by? What's going on?
It kind of feels like all those things all at the same time. What I'm talking about is the market. Do you hear what's going on out there?
Yeah,
It's
something
insane.
about Blockbuster Video's back, and it's a really great stock to buy.
I'm hearing people are rushing to buy Blockbuster Video right now.
What the frig is going on, dude?
I
don't know the
idea.
details because I'm deep into what I do every day with the investment capital for real estate. But some silly people did something silly. I don't know what happened. I don't know what it was. But...
It's crazy. But the more I hear about it, and when I look at the premise of what's going on, it just, all I kept thinking was like, oh, this is exactly what the black and white, what we see, what's happening with institutions and example funds like Freedom Venture. It's exactly.
Well, hold on a minute.
Yeah.
Do me a favor. Educate me. All right, educate me. I saw the founder of Barstools. What's his name?
That guy from I know who you're talking about. The pizza
something.
guy. Yeah, I forget his name.
Yeah. Barstools, right? And he's obviously very vocal on everything financial.
Right.
And I didn't read it because I didn't have time, but a quick Twitter feed or something came over the phone. No, LinkedIn came over the phone. Mm-hmm. And the headline was, whoever created this needs to go to jail. Like there's something screaming illegalities and misappropriations and just straight up. Here we go. You ready? Word of the week: shenanigans.
Shenanigans. That's
Portnoy. Thank you, Mikey. Mikey Strong. David Portnoy. There you go.
David Portnoy. All right. Yeah. So basically, in a summary, right? And it's a lot deeper than just a Reddit channel or feeds or Twitter feeds. It's much more deeper than that. But basically, what we had was a group. Okay, let's summarize it as that: a group of citizens, private individuals, non-institutional investors. People who are maybe on their phones on an app like Robinhood or Stash or wherever they're buying their retail shares, came together and caused commotion around the stock of GameStop. That's the
GameStop.
summary.
That's the one that's in the mall right next to 51 Flavors. There's nobody ever in there anymore, right? That place?
I think so. Yeah, something like that. I mean, they're basically a retail store. I mean, and right now retail is getting hit like crazy. Yes, there is an increase in online gaming, but people walking into a store right now is just, it's like we're seeing 50% or more growth in a stock in just a matter of a week or two. I mean, it's really fast. So it's almost unheard of.
I saw something ridiculous that it was like 132% it went up in one day or something ridiculous like that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, exactly. So it's...
Just to be clear, hold on a minute. Time out. Stop.
Yeah.
Stop talking. Hold on.
All right.
It's my turn.
Okay.
So the stock for the little store that has all of the DVD video things that go into the gaming machines that nobody ever needs anymore.
Right.
Because my sons just play Fortnite and download games and whatever they want to do.
Right.
So that went, Mike Strong all over it. That went up 150%.
Right. Exactly.
How?
Well,
stupid?
Well, no, because the reality is it's not about stupidity. This goes to show the market what happens with motivated people with the power in the masses. That's what it is. The power, like people, the phone is the powerful force. Right now, people have, let's call it power to the people. Right? It's where people now are in control of their
Solid effort. Okay.
It's where
to the
people...
Black Panther party. What are you doing?
This is where people now have the power. Now, I had said this in previous episodes. This is where we look back into the Jobs Act that Obama signed back in 2016, which gave more people, the institutions had more of the power. Now people have this power, right? People. So what this has done is given them the control to influence the market like never before.
Wow.
So
Wow.
guess what happened?
So what? It went in the wrong way, right? It
Well,
went to shit or whatever.
Well, no, it hasn't gone to shite. What happened was the people created the demand, right? So they created the demand, and all of a sudden the market, in this case, in one particular stock, shoots up, right? It shoots up, and then there's a bunch of people who are shorting this same stock, okay? Now, what really causes the stir in the market is the fact that, people are concerned that people are going to get burnt. So, for example, Robinhood said, hold on, everybody. Let's not go anywhere. Let's not let these, beginner investors make a really bad decision. Right. Robinhood has already been under the limelight with this when there was a boy last year, I believe it was in 2019, committed suicide because he was option trading in Robinhood, and when he from one day to the other saw his options go the other way, he was negative over $700,000. The boy committed suicide because of what he saw. So Robinhood, what they're doing is they throttled, not just Robinhood, there was actually other ones throttled. However, the institutions were not throttling. They were buying and selling, open trading like no problem. That's been the issue of what's been going on, which I think there's going to be some hearing. Here we have Tim, stock was shorting more shares than it had. So the buying of stocks. Forest Games stock to buy. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not having a hard time reading that in one particular line. I apologize, Robert. Thank you for sharing that as well.
Did you just have a seizure or something?
Robert, is it 5 o'clock? Because I couldn't read
5 o'clock?
most of that. But here's what Mike's saying. Reddit crew figured out that a hedge fund was going to short GameStop. So the Reddit group bought like crazy to drive the price up, costing the hedge fund to lose about $2.5 billion. All of a sudden, Robinhood shut down yesterday. Protect the hedge fund. You should buy, not sell. This goes back to the little guy was making the money, right? Again, this is what I thought. What he's talking about is exactly when this was happening. I said, well, this is what freedom is. Okay. This is what gives power to the people.
I see it now. Thank you, Mike Strong. I thought Nathan was going to teach me. Apparently it was my buddy, Mikey Strong.
I was giving you the timeline. I had to give you the theatrics.
What the hell you were talking about.
I had to give you theatrics. I had to give you theatrics first.
Okay. So the comparable or the parallel with what we do in the real estate marketplace, I get it now.
Yeah.
So institutional quality, large commercial investments historically have only ever been for Wall Street, right? Somebody who can write a check for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 million dollars, they always got the very best transactions.
Yeah.
So now with what we do, working with the retail investor, accredited investors, and pooling that capital together, well, now we can participate as a group in the cool sandbox that has the targeted double-digit returns that Wall Street and everybody else was getting involved with. So I get it. Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting because I remember now. Thanks, Mikey. I remember now. That Wall Street had shorted the hell out of that stock, and now it's almost like it's almost like the revolution. Everybody gets together and makes a revolutionary move to overthrow the Queen of England, right? And the stock market and destroy their strategy. Yeah, interesting, man. And what do you say? And then everybody circled the wagons and stopped all trading on it, so Wall Street didn't get beat anymore.
Yeah, well, it was kind of interesting. I think Robinhood, and the CEO came out and made a statement earlier in the morning. Yeah, he did it out of protection of the user. Okay, now this wasn't everybody, but that was just Robinhood because they're going back to what happened last year. So they were just trying to protect them now, but because there's other platforms, of course. There's other platforms. Sure. Robinhood's not the only platform. But in regards to the other platforms, they were stopping it for a period of time. I want to say it was like 24 hours, but then they changed it. It's just because right now the market is very volatile. It's up and down, but it's a great segue into what Freedom Venture does, because not only market volatility, but also in security in this kind of investment. So that's what it's all about.
We had our partners meeting this morning. We have a partners meeting Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, and just a strategize meeting and an update meeting. And we were talking about the difference in the marketing message and the service between our institutional investors and our retail investors, right? And I made a comment to Eric, I think it was this morning, and I said, I'm not in a position where I am asking for money for a retail investor. If the retail investor wants to compare everything else to what we offer, and then they decide to go somewhere else, that's a decision for them to make.
Right.
And I mean that from a position of respect and genuine caring, right? Because the retail investor, if it feels like the phrase we use is pushing a donkey up a hill, come on, it's the best invest. Come on. It's dumb. It's not. The retail investor, unfortunately, it's interesting. They have to take all their own lumps and bumps first. They have to get all their own scars.
Right.
The intelligent, the mature retail investor turns around and looks at a company like ours and says, well, they've already figured it out. They've already, gone through the correction of 2008, gone through 1986. They've already gone through the development boom. They've gone through all of the cycles of real estate. And the intelligent investor looks at it and says, yep, that makes sense. I'm going to go in that direction. So, it's the messaging needs to be specifically different for the retail investor. Because for the retail investor, what we do is we build wealth. We build wealth and we reduce risk. I'm going to say that again. We build wealth and we reduce risk. And what that does is that puts that accredited retail investor in a confident position. Because when they have confidence, they make decisions rather than just, sitting on the sidelines with dry powder, as we call it, waiting for an opportunity that 9 times out of 10, Nathan, has already passed them by and they didn't even realize it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you compare that message to, I'll give you a classic example. February, 3rd week of February. Meeting down in Orlando with some institutional capital. It's a company that's considering getting incredibly aligned and ingrained with us at Freedom Venture to be able to bring some larger capital to the table. And for them, there's no, the message is so different. The message is simply this: we've been doing it for 25 years. We have every intention of doing it for another 25 years. Here's the proven track record. Here's the business model. Here's the underwriting. Here's the team. Here's the construction vertical. Here's the management vertical. Here's the property management vertical. Write me a check. And, we're going to come down and we're going to walk 2 properties that we now have in contract. One we're closing on next month. And it's like the strings that need to be pulled for the deal to make sense are totally different at the institutional level. Whereas the retail investor, still wants to know that, look, we've got everybody's back, but the retail investor's like, are you like me? That's what they want to know, right? Are we the same people? And, my background, it's similar to yours, right? You come from a background where, first rule of investing is don't lose the money, right? Second rule of investing is refer back to the first rule of investing. So it's interesting that they've got that power today. The retail world has that power that they very rarely have, but it's technology that allows that to happen.
Exactly, and I think it's long overdue. I think we're seeing in the next, in the years to come, we're seeing financial literacy increase because people have the power in their hands. Most of the time, years ago, people would have to go study this, either in school to get a degree in it, or they would have to take a lot of self-education. But now there's more power and application at the same time because people are doing it right from their mobile phones. That's the difference. That's the change that's happening.
My generation, 28 years,
that's long
to
ago.
38 years.
That generation's long ago. That generation.
My generation, the guys that still, guys that still need glasses. But my generation, we just all was sold a really shitty plan, and the plan was, trade the time for money, 401ks, company retirement plans are where it's at. You're going to be okay, and they just straight up freaking lied at the end of the day, right? So you've got this 50 to 60-year-old generation in America. And what's happening is that they're looking at it and they're going, I got a problem. Because if you're not sitting on about $3.5 to $4.5 million in liquidity, you can't retire. If you want maybe, $10,000 a month to live on, whatever that number may be. So, there's definitely some challenges and some problems out there for sure. I'm loving seeing the interaction here. What's some of these comments? They show up on my screen, Nate, and then they disappear pretty quick.
Yeah. So, Mike was, talking about a little bit about how Janet Yellen received over $800,000 from a hedge fund tied to the bubbling GameStop situation. So he's saying that someone should go to jail. I don't know. That sounds a little extreme, but definitely maybe some litigation involved. He says stick to real estate. So yeah, that's kind of what we're echoing here on this show is, real estate.
Strong word, Mike.
Yeah. Also, Robert is saying regulations versus technology is the new arbitrage. So yeah, I think, there's been deregulation in this sector. That's why we're here, right? There's been deregulation, which I think is very powerful. But with the deregulation is more amateurs come to the market.
What's interesting? What's interesting?
Yeah.
I'm in a rock and a hard place here, right?
Yeah.
So I guess it's because I'm not fluid and intelligent when it comes to the stock market, right? It's not my world. I've never learned it. So because I don't know it, my inner voice is screaming, regulate the crap out of it. Make sure everybody's safe, right?
Right.
But now on the real estate side, where I'm an expert, where I'm proficient, where I know a great deal when I see one, my inner voice is screaming, deregulation, raising money, deregulate that.
Right.
Let's get as much money in real estate as we can. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
It's like what I know versus what I don't know. And the rules don't apply equal.
Well,
funny.
I think that's a good point to what you're bringing up, because the same sentiment that you feel towards deregulation in real estate is already what's happening in the stock world, right? Stocks, bonds, mutual funds.
Right.
And that needs to happen more, even on the real estate world, except there needs to be this, I think there's going to be a knowledge gap, but I don't think it's going to be that big. I really don't. I think
I have a lady, Nathan, right now. I have a Nathan. I have a lady right now.
Yeah.
And she is approximately $20,000 shy of accredited investor status, right?
Okay.
She's sitting on approximately $325,000 in investable capital.
Okay.
Which is currently, she's too scared to put it into the stock market, etc. Right? And her yield on that money somewhere around 4.5-5% was the last conversation we had with her.
Okay.
And my targeted returns are 10 to 14, 10 to 12%, depending whether it's in the fund, or whether it's on a syndicated asset. And the regulation that is in place, which keeps her out of my investments.
Perfect example. Yeah.
I can help this lady. I can absolutely, put velocity, like rocket freaking fuel behind her money. Yeah. And yet, because of the regulations, I can't legally do it. That, my friend, is freaking frustrating.
I completely agree with you. That's why I keep applauding the Jobs Act that Obama signed years ago, because if that never got signed, Freedom Venture probably wouldn't be on this show talking to the, right? No. So now we're looking at another level of deregulation. When is that going to happen? How is it going to happen? It needs to happen at some point. And that's what will create more opportunities for people to increase their wealth in the marketplace. Right.
Sure. Right. Yeah. And that's up to the SEC to get their thumb out of their rear end and actually, start talking to each other.
Let me tell you, I think the biggest thing the SEC and the FTC need to partner up on a much bigger situation, a bigger problem, and that is fraud, scams, and con artists.
Oh, tell me about it.
I think that is even more important right now because it's through the roof. Like never before, we're seeing a lot of people create scams and steal money from people, right? And transfer it into, I'm just going to say cryptocurrency, okay? Rather than just calling out
dude,
Bitcoin.
I got hacked by some crypto a-holes.
You did?
All of a sudden, I'm seeing $50 every 2 or 3 days coming out of my account to Coinbase Incorporated.
No.
And if you think for 1 minute I'm a crypto investor, you're out of your freaking trees. Yeah, dude.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
Don't get me going. Why you got to do that at the end of the week? I was in a happy place.
I'm
right
sorry.
there.
I was just bringing out the truth, but that's a perfect example. You're a victim.
I've never been a victim. Ever. I go on the offense, never the defense. That's funny.
Oh, God.
I'll find you. I'm gonna be in the bushes outside your house. Can I tell you a little story totally off topic?
Yeah.
So last night I did a virtual MC event.
Oh, really?
For a company here in Marlborough, Massachusetts called Employment Options.
Okay.
Employment Options supplies services and like a clubhouse environment. A family environment for people transitioning with mental illnesses, addiction. They've got like a full restaurant where they teach catering skills and they get people back into the community. And as you know, I'm sober. I just picked up a 30-year medallion. Actually 31 years. Yeah. So I'm up there, and the whole thing was a live auction and a donation.
Oh, nice.
And we went for an hour, and they had the full professional team there.
Yeah.
And it was streaming live.
Really?
And they had and it was going backwards and forwards between recorded testimonials of folks who had helped.
Okay.
And their goal was to raise $25,000 in an hour. We did $32,000.
Of course.
How you doing?
I knew that was going to happen.
Oh, dude, it was so good. I had so much fun there.
That's awesome.
Really, I did.
That's
great.
great.
It was a good time last
I could
night.
actually see you.
Options.
I could see you doing that, an auctioneer on multiple levels. We got to get you over at Christie's.
Well, I didn't do the actual auction myself. It was all going on live in the background.
Oh.
And a screen would pop up every now and again, like a $500 donation.
Oh, well, that's great.
XYZ services, and then I had a Gronkowski signed cleat.
I remember
in a presentation case.
I remember you telling me about that.
I actually bid on it at a charity event years ago. Yeah. So I donated it.
Right.
And that went for an extra like $500 or whatever it was. It was just a good time.
Yeah. I thought when you were saying that, I thought you were saying you were the auctioneer, which I could totally.
I was the MC. I was the MC, baby.
You could totally. Yeah. I'll tell you. I'm going to send a request for Christie's.
I'd be all over that. I'd buy half a dozen heifers. That's what I'd do. I bought some cows. I thought I was buying jewelry. I guess I got some sheep or something.
Oh, goodness.
All right, let's we look at us jabbering away.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? Deal of the week or welcome newbies? I mean, what do you want to do?
Well, we're already 25 minutes into the show.
Oh, we are.
And we've had a lot of chatter. But if you're new here, let us know. We'd like to say hello to you. The Cash Flow Show with Dave Seymour, Nathan Amaral. We are here to show you cash flowing opportunities, specifically, if you haven't been noticed yet, in real estate. That's where this is all about. So with that in mind, we're going to show you a deal right now that is in Fort Myers, Naples.
Fort Myers, Naples. So this is a sweet little deal.
Okay.
We put out 7 LOIs last week on apartment complexes throughout the Gulf Coast region of Florida, where we do our investing. It's where we do all our hunting and picking. Mm-hmm. We have over 25 years of experience down there, so we get what are called pocket listings. This particular property came through a probate scenario, came from an attorney to us. So here's the deal with this one. This is pretty much a B+, A- property. It's a little bit outside our buy box for the fund. However, I think we will put this one in the fund just because it's such a sweet deal. It's a bonus deal, if you will, to our fund investors. So this is a representation of what we call Core Plus. Now, for those of you who don't understand this word, core means cash flow. So we're buying cash flow. Cash flow is going to be king over the next 3 to 7 years, if not sooner. So you want cash flow coming in. So we buy cash flow, and then the plus component of an asset like this is a slight remodeling or repositioning. Maybe we address some tenant issues, some repair issues, or maybe some property management issues. This has very few challenges, but because it is a probate deal, there is a very high motivation for the folks to sell. So it's located in Fort Myers, Naples area. It's built in 2010, so it's a newer asset. It's not an older asset to us. All of the Tampa codes are up to date. 18 garden units, nice 2.5 acre parcel. What's really cool about this is it has its own private boat ramp for the residents because it has canal, what's called canal access. So from the canal, you can get into a river access, and a river access actually takes you out into the Gulf of Mexico. So it's a beautiful property. Walking distance of downtown area, provides attractive blend of shops and restaurants. So it's got a beautiful appeal for the Floridian lifestyle. Nice. 5-minute ride to some nicer chain stores, etc., and some restaurants. The factors allow for current management has been able to maintain a 95% occupancy. We're just delving now into finalizing the letter of intent, but we anticipate the financial occupancy to be representative of the physical occupancy, so that's important. So they've done really well since acquiring it in 2014. As I said, it's a state settlement. So our target price on this, like I said, we're still negotiating the final NOI, but we're pretty confident that we're going to be the highest bidders or the smartest bidders on this property, if you will. About $3 million and 5,000. We're going to put about 30,000 into it. Needs some exterior paint, nothing crazy at all. Maybe some nicer landscaping, remarketing of the asset. We'll give it a new name, etc. The improvements will restore the complex to its first and best status. Just a really nice community. No real challenges on the management side that we've seen. So anyway, 72-month hold, targeted returns on this. We averaged them out on this one because it's a smaller unit, but the average returns over that 5-7 year hold is going to be around 13.93%. The value of the money working over that period of time, 22.67, and it's a really strong, consistent targeted multiple of 1.8. So big and small, up to 150 doors, Nathan. We love them all.
Love them.
There you go, buddy. That's the deal of the week. It's a beauty.
Sounds fantastic.
Ching, ching. Did you just ring a door? Was that a cash register or was that a bicycle bell?
It was a cash register.
Oh, yeah, so it was. Nice. That's cheesy. I love it.
This is good stuff.
I love it.
So for all our newbies out there who are watching now that we're syndicated in 15 new countries, Dave.
Wow.
How would someone get started in wanting to invest in this type of opportunity?
First thing they got to do is get educated. All right. I'm not going to take your money if you don't know what you're doing with us. So the first thing you can do is go to freedomventure.com, spend some time there. If you do have some understanding of commercial real estate, if you understand how it works, we work only with accredited investors. And you can I'm old school, baby. You can pick up the phone and call me, 781, area code 781-922-4418. We'll talk about that deal. We'll talk about some syndicated deals that we have going right now that we have under contract, scheduled to close in the next 6 to 8 weeks. That's our website, Real Estate Investing Made Easy. On that platform right there, you'll see a lot of the podcasts we do. You can see some of the assets that we have either in our pipeline or are about to close. You can reach out to me, like I said, 781-922-4418. Let us know that you heard about us on the Nathan and Nathan and David Cashflow show, and we'll have a conversation. Well, I'll show you exactly what the fund structure looks like, and like I said, you can also take a look at some of our syndicated assets that we're in the middle of raising right now as well.
Awesome, fantastic, and all the deals I've noticed, they're all on the website now. By the way, that's what I'm checking out. All the deals of the week. That's nice.
There you go.
Look at you.
Busy.
Guys.
Busy. It's crazy when somebody says, "I got $2.5 billion. Can you spend it?"
Yeah.
right? And I say, well, yes, I'll
Yes.
figure it out. I think I can. So, yeah, we'll see.
Good
Maybe that's
stuff.
a little aggressive even for me, but I'll get going on it. That's for sure.
Exactly. Good
What are
stuff.
you reading? News of the week?
No, I'm trying to keep everything organized.
Okay, that's good.
What are you doing for the weekend? What do you got planned up for this weekend?
I have had an absolutely chaotic week. And
Really?
I think I want to build some Lego with my boys this weekend.
Oh, that's nice.
I might have a date night at home with Mary Beth if she'll have me.
Ooh.
You know what we did the other week? It was funny. We got
What's
the
that?
food from our favorite restaurant. I picked it up, nice steakhouse.
Yeah.
And then Bennett and Jefferson waited on us. So
Oh,
me and
that's
Mom
cute.
got all dressed up like we were on date night. Bennett put on his little white shirt and his cufflinks, and
That's
Jefferson had a little pad.
Oh,
and a
that's
dinner that usually cost me about $200, Jefferson only wanted to charge me $28.
Wow.
So
What a
when
deal.
the bill came, I said, I'd rather pay that bill than the other bill. So
I'd go to that
I gave
restaurant.
him- that's right. I gave them both a tip, and then Mom had to do a couple of dishes afterwards. So it was a good night. So
Good
maybe if
stuff.
I'm lucky, I'll get date night.
Maybe
what
you
about
will.
you? What are you doing? You're going to go boating in the ocean. You're going to sunbathe on the Portuguese coast. What are you doing out
Actually,
there?
no. We're
Azores.
right now. We're under this unique lockdown, so actually everything closes here at 3 p.m. But
Really? Wow.
tomorrow, I have a meeting with my business partners. We're going to evaluate our phase 2 of our project. Sunday, we might try to go bowling as a family if we can, but
Nice.
it's really tough right now because of the lockdowns. So
I just booked a flight to Orlando because we're walking some properties with the institutional crew
yeah,
there.
yeah.
And I got a flight from Orlando and back, first class for $20.
What? That's crazy.
No, you can find some crazy deals. All right, I had a couple of credits for some flights. That I
Yeah,
canceled
yeah.
with the COVID
But still,
credits.
it's been really, really cheap. I mean, the flights
Yeah.
right now are just really cheap. That's what's been happening these days.
Oh, look at Paul Simon. Get the Lego roller coaster. It's the best. Paul, I'm in the middle of doing the Coliseum right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby. Yeah,
Nice.
baby. That roller coaster looks good, though, Paul. I'll put that on my to-do list.
Nice.
I appreciate it.
Thanks everybody
Good
for
stuff.
joining in to the Cash Flow Show, the place to educate yourself and learn more and get invested into commercial real estate cash flow opportunities. We will see you next week. Take care.